In our district, we recognize that equitably supporting the social, emotional, and academic needs of each student is the pathway to success. One of our key strategies in building equitable outcomes for all students in the district is through multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS for short. MTSS is a way that we collect data about student success, and then we provide the supports that they need in the area of academics, social emotional support, and behavior. This is a nationally used system. It's been in place in Washington State and in our district for years. The key thing to understand about this framework is that it's broken apart into this traditional pyramid that you'll see this image for. At the bottom tier, you'll see our supports for all students. And at the second tier are what some students receive, and the top tier is what very few students would receive extra supports in.
So what we noticed first with MTSS is that we were using data to identify which students needed additional academic, social, and behavioral support, where before teachers were coming to administrators or support staff to get support for their struggling students, and that approach just wasn't equitable for all students, and it also wasn't very efficient. So this way of using data is much more equitable.
When our MTSS team started at our school, I noticed a huge difference right away in the resources that teachers were being given and how successful they felt teaching in the classroom. And I also noticed a huge difference in students feeling successful in the classroom.
So what this looks like is, students are receiving additional support in the classroom from their classroom teacher or a small group with a support staff member.
One of the key elements of Tier 1 at schools is that they come up with a set of expectations that staff and students need to follow to be successful members of that school community. This usually takes the form of 3 to 4 behavior expectations that the school then has an opportunity to provide positive reinforcement for. And it's a way that they can build positive school climate by everyone knowing what's expected of them when they walk through the doors of that school each day.
Well, I think something that we do that we're really proud of here at Maywood is that we recognize students for doing the right thing many times throughout the day. We award them Charger Cheers. It goes into a drawing. They look for their names on a screen to see if they've won for the week, and they're really excited to know that they're being recognized for their positive interactions in the building.
I think the goal of MTSS and PVSES is to just honestly meet kids where they're at and acknowledge and validate and make students feel like they are being heard and seen. I think that's ultimately why I feel so strongly about it.
I do think it's important to highlight some of the things that we do at our school, that we include our entire staff in recognizing and helping students know what's expected in order to be a good student. It includes our teaching staff, our office staff, our custodial staff, our transportation department. Everybody's involved in caring that kids do the right thing.
Here's an example of one way that we collect data as a school to inform our Tier 1 interventions. We take attendance for students every day because we believe that students being at school is the best way for them to achieve positive educational outcomes. When we teach attendance expectations through our student handbook process at the beginning of the year, we emphasize all the positive outcomes that come from students being in school every day. We can then use our positive expectation setting as a building to provide positive reward systems for students being at school every day and for improving their attendance as well.
MTSS in the future is going to do amazing things for students and for teachers. It's a program that's going to be creating those lifelong learners and giving them the skills that they need in the classroom and out of the classroom to be successful in life.
When we say that we hope that MTSS helps students prepare for the future, what we mean is that it's not just about the fractions we're teaching. It's not just about the U.S. history that's happening in the classroom. We're trying to help prepare students for the social emotional challenges of their future as well by teaching things like self-regulation, positive peer relationships, things that we think it takes to be a successful adult in the world. In the future, we hope to continue this video series by talking to students directly to see how MTSS has positively affected their school experience.